Howdy y'all, I got the Bulldog on the channel. I shot a video earlier today. I was going to post, but then I found more after I got into the engine. I decided, well, let's just redo this. This here is an 88 Chevy. Nice truck. The father just gave it to his son. The son picked it back up. It was slammed on the ground, and he put all new components, or all different components, to pick it back up in the air and put these big old wheels on there. And the work that had been done to the engine was done before his dad got the truck, and he's had it for over a decade, I know, because it came to us. It was changed over to a carburetor. It needed fuel lines and everything, and needed that all fixed. We did that. That's as far as we ever went with the engine. It's supposed to be a 383 stroker. I think it is. But if you're going to have a build, you don't have to build it in a pristine white glove shop. I mean, you can do things like this in your backyard. I'm pretty sure where this one was built. What got me going on this was this part right here. Here's what I want to show you. First thing I saw was that there. No, we should not ever do that. I don't know whose idea it was to do that. It was a bad idea. Don't do that. What brought me to that was it was sitting there running. Yeah, just bouncing all around. There's no bolt there. So, yeah, I'm from the future. This was all 2 days ago whenever I shot this, and yesterday I was putting this truck back together, and I am going to have to drill and helicoil all those bolt holes in that head. They are all stripped out. That is why it was all screwed up. Now, that one bar that was coming down, that's not stock. They welded on an alternator bracket. Or I think it was an alternator bracket. It looks just like the piece that goes to the alternator on the other side. It's welded to the bottom of that deal and was sticking down there. The end of it's broke off. They just had it sandwiched into that bolt hole. So there's that. But I'm going to have to repair that when I get back to work. Now, I got into the engine. I got it all tore apart. I've got the cooker, the big dishwasher going back there. We're going to wash all the tins that I took off the engine because it was leaking everywhere. That's why I was going into it. Intake bolts were loose. That's why it was dumping antifreeze out the back of the engine. I got it off, sitting over there. Valve covers were not loose, but they had no spreaders on it. These 10 valve covers, they need a spreader put on here to keep you from just destroying this spot right here around the bolt. Otherwise it'll leak. And I pulled this thing off, and it had cork gaskets. You can use cork gaskets on these old engines, but it's like putting hubcaps on a Ferrari. At least get some black rubber gaskets, and then they make reusable steel core gaskets. They don't cost that much more. I know cork is supposed to be cheap, but the front cover was leaking and the oil pan was leaking. The front cover was leaking a lot. We thought, well, maybe it's just going down the sides of the oil pan, but it looked terrible going down the side of the oil pan. So you got to flex that down anyway. You got to loosen the bolts and pop it loose, and it's going to leak there. So we'll just take the oil pan off too. Oil pan had a cork gasket on it, and all the bolt holes are wowed in. It had no spreaders on the oil pan. The timing cover looks like that. So, yeah. Now, here's something else that I found. I had to pick the motor up just a little bit. to get the oil pan out of there. Glare. Look at the end of that crank. That stuff, I mean, oh. That's a mess. I hope he wasn't charged for that. Now, I had spoke about it before. I'll cut that out. I'll speak about it here. He's wanting to reseal this engine and keep running it. It was not running quite right. The Edelbrock has not been checked at all in a decade, so we'll do a little bit of adjusting on that. The distributor was loose, even though the bolt hold down was cranked down, tight as all get out. So I had to bend the hole down so that it will actually do something when I put it back together. So the timing was dancing around on it. With all that taken care of, hopefully he'll get another year. He says a year. I think he's going to take longer after he finds out how much it's going to cost him. He's going to do an LS swap, and he's going to have somebody build him a motor. Hope it's not the one that did this one. Just gonna warn you guys, when it comes to stuff like that, money talks. Can you get cheaper builds? Yes, you can. Can you get cheaper builds that last? Probably. He was wanting us to do the build. We don't build motors anymore because the liability, the money. We never made any money off of them with a high liability. Well, they really wanted us to do it. Well, they really wanted us to do it because we're so much cheaper than everybody else is going to be. That's because we don't make any money off of it. They do. This one, it looks from the looks of the crank, it is a stroker. That's the 2-volt main. You're asking for trouble there. And it is an old block. It's got the dipstick on the driver's side. If you're going to do this stuff, at least clean it up. It costs very little in the general scheme of the build to use quality gaskets and the right hardware. And most people like me just have it laying around. We dig through the box, we'll find some of them spreaders. We don't have to buy any. I probably got 2 bags of them in there. Some of them are old, some of them are brand new. They'll come with something where the stock ones were better than what they sent me. So I'll just keep the new ones and reuse the factory ones. It's got studded valve covers, and they got a big old long stud in them. There's plenty of room to put them spreaders on there. It'll go back right. Because I figure once we get it all put together, and if it runs good enough, he might put off on that LS swap for a while. And like I said, he put some salvage spindles on there. The drop spindles are laying in the bed. I don't know, he might have put a block on the rear axle. That was fun to put on the lift because somebody's cut off the frame and moved the shackles up. So the points where we usually use to put it on the lift are gone. But I just wanted to come on here and show you some things whenever you're looking to spend money and build something and have somebody do it. The person who's cheaper, look for stuff that they've done and really look at it, okay? Just because they cost $200 or $300 less, that don't mean you're not going to be spending $1,000 in a month having somebody that knows what they're doing fix it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.